At the liquor store.
What is up, all? We are now live. So, nobody's watching.
I'll give them time. They'll figure it out.
Smash that like button, folks. Tonight we
Shannon's a guaranteed, so.
tonight we have Turner from the Great White North. We've got Frosty
So
from
white
Los
now.
Angeles, and our fearless leader, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm from.
Only right here on Dave TV.
No, that's funny. There used to be a TV channel that was actually called Dave TV.
I never knew that.
Van Halen video, wasn't it? David Lee Roth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, the fight's about to start.
With cats?
Yeah, I got my black cat and the neighborhood black cat. He's like zombie cat. Boo Boo's killed him like 6 times, but he just keeps coming back.
When my male cat gets into a fight with another male cat, I've never seen that other cat again.
Yeah. No, this guy, well, he's still got his balls, so he keeps limping back. Well, he's got purpose.
You're going to try it again.
Well, he got the white cat pregnant twice. He makes good-looking babies. But we fixed that problem. The store's closed. Oven's broken. Which is all right.
I'm just trying to figure out what I can buy for Dave and send to him and trade for the shipping.
A 100% guaranteed flashlight.
A 100% guaranteed flashlight. Do they even make those things?
Flashlight. Lifetime warranty flashlight.
Oh, dude, where'd you go with that?
Snap-on don't make them because they know that they run them out of business.
Yeah.
You can only get those at Harbor Freight.
Hey, CP.
What's up? You can only get the lifetime warranty flashlights at Harbor Freight.
I haven't seen them on their shelves yet.
I'm gonna have to go get one if they do.
Nothing wrong with a damn Coast Light.
Dude, I love Coast Lights. How long you been on? You been on for a minute?
It's about 30 seconds.
Oh, seriously?
2 minutes. It's 52 seconds.
Oh, wow. Are you on live?
Yeah.
I'll be dead.
At the moment, I am live.
Oh, I know.
YouTube
off. I'll be dead. I just opened up my email. I seen I got an email and I was opening up. And it was you. I was like, oh, whatever. I'll get on.
I'm inviting another 30 people here.
How'd your weekends go, fellas?
My weekend was good.
I probably won't fall asleep on you because I fell asleep at the desk today. And good thing
you already got your nap in?
Already got my nap in, yeah.
Perpendicular.
You should change your name from Frosty the Iceman to Mallcap.
Paul Blart.
Rumple foreskin.
It's a quiet night tonight.
Well, there you go, Dave. I'll send you an auger, a whole post hole auger. I know you've always wanted one.
What am I going to
do? Or you know why? We're competing with the Den of Tools.
Oh, there ain't nothing to compete there with.
Compete with Den of Tools. Den of Fools?
I got a death threat because I said his name on Friday night's live stream, so.
He threatened your life?
Well, from a guy that looked like he was Santa Claus. I'm not even joking you.
I aspire to look like that someday.
He said I was a fat, worthless ex-salesman from Iowa, which is funny because I haven't been a salesman, I mean, really ever. If I have been, I was the worst salesman ever. But even when I sold tools, I never considered myself a salesman. But I was a fat, worthless salesman from Iowa, and I talked too much crap about Jeff, and Jeff has more experience being a mechanic or any type of tradesman than I ever will. And that if he ever hears me say anything again, he's going to come to Iowa, and he's going to put an end to my talking crap. That's not how he put it, but
the Crocs and the short pants tell it all, man. You don't want to mess with that guy.
yeah, it was definitely Saint Nick, 100%.
Saint Dick.
Chris Kringle, dude, I should show you the picture. This dude was legitimately his profile picture, everything.
100%. That's funny.
I was scared. I mean, I'm telling you what, I was scared. I grabbed Henry and we went into the closet immediately.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, it's social medias, and the more and more I grow, I got to tell you, it's an interesting place. Because, oh, yes, animes, I feel the bears coming on. Social media is a very interesting place. The more and more you grow, it's crazy how people literally get so involved with somebody's life personally without ever knowing them or meeting them. You know, if you guys really want, I hope you guys get to experience some of that someday. Just the absolute.
Is it like that TV show? Oh, what the hell do they call
I
it?
do experience that. I got a couple creepers following me around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they get worse though, Dave. I mean, they get worse.
Were you still on when Fluff was showing, the one that keeps creeping him out? He's the same guy that keeps creeping me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's Tarek.
Crazy.
You sure it's not Tarek?
Yeah, I never blame anybody.
Well, it's not like it's normal to have, you know, trolls and whatnot. It's just what's interesting is the people that take it personal. Even if you say something like, you know, if you say anything, any little thing, like let's just say that it's not even tool related. Let's just say you say something about how you don't like ketchup. You don't like ketchup. Let's say you don't like ketchup. There's somebody out there in the social media world who will get offended by that and be like, what? You don't like ketchup? What did ketchup ever do to you? You know what I'm saying? You feel me, dog?
On the keyboard.
And they're dead serious though. Like they're a dime short of a dollar bill. For real.
Oh, where is it? Jesus.
I need to figure out how to do this little thing you're trying to do.
That's not working. It won't load up right now. Damn it.
Really? I need to do that, and I want to do a whole video.
I've got to update it. I've got to do an update on it. Not worth the time. Not worth the energy. Just to make fun of someone.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the video that JD Tico did where he put the bear in at the end?
Nope. I didn't see that one.
You didn't?
Yeah. What's up, all?
No.
Did you see it, Dave?
Yeah, I saw it.
Dude, it was hilarious.
I didn't see it. What did he do?
Oh my God, at the end of the video, he goes, hi, everybody. Dude. Oh, sorry. We got a little bit of something going on today. But, yeah, at the end of the video, he popped in as they changed him over to the bear, and he made a quote that was very bear-like, shine on and all that. Oh, my God, it was hilarious. There was a couple videos ago he did it. I'm not even kidding you. That might have been the funniest instance that I ever seen him do for a while. It was hilarious because Jeff because Jeff's a super offended person. He'll write you a letter, and he wrote Nick a letter. Like he wrote him a letter and telling him how he has him all confused about who he is and blah 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 blah. Like he was literally, like just basically talking about how, whatever. Here's at the end of the day, I will tell you this. Yeah, it's not good to mess with somebody. I'm not going to mess with somebody off my channel or say something to them. Like go directly to his channel and mess with him or waste my time on him. But if I say something about him on my channel, but it kind of does. You do get people that take that like as you got to watch what you say. I guess a little bit of responsibility, I should say. Because there's people out there that take that's on your channel, and they follow you and watch you, and they'll take that as a sign as I'm going to go over there and mess with that guy, and that's not good either. You know what I mean? Like that's not. I never ever want somebody to think that that's what they're supposed to do. Like it's what you don't like somebody. I don't know. Sorry, didn't mean to deal. I don't mean to derail your stream here or whatever you guys are talking about.
How to auto repair? What's up? What are you up to?
What you say, everybody?
Nothing to say.
What we say?
Oh, I got a new wireless cordless printer. It's got a battery on it. I can print on top of Mount Everest.
Oh, nice.
It's Canon. It's Canon.
What's up, Anthony? Thanks for coming in.
I got a printer so that way I can print out the invoices so I don't get those customers that say, I didn't pay the bill because I didn't get the email.
What brand is it?
It's Canon.
I just sent him another email. Oh, you didn't get the email? It might have went to your spam folder. Here, let me send you another one.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is run into a couple of customers. I didn't get the email, so I don't think I should have to pay until I get the invoice. It's like I emailed it to you 3 times. You have it. So now they can't. No, there's no escaping it. I'm just going to print it out, put it in their hand, and say, "There you go."
What do you think that? What do you think about paperless everything?
I don't trust paperless. I like keeping a paper record
because it's a big savings to them.
Well, I personally love paperless.
It's a big savings to everybody.
But you got to have a hard copy somewhere, though. You got to have some kind
big
of
savings to everybody until the internet starts charging you. They're trying.
Yeah, the internet already charges me. See, I have to pay for storage every month because of that.
Well, not just that storage issue. They're going to start trying to charge for every freaking transaction, every email across. People do not buy Christmas cards and birthday cards anymore. They don't buy newspapers anymore. They don't use the U.S. Postal Service as much as they used to, or nearly even close.
Which is good though.
And
how much paper are we wasting anyways, though, a year?
No.
You want to talk about cutting down carbon emissions. People burn a lot of that stuff too. I'm not saying I want to be a goody two-shoes on the activist or anything here, nothing, but I don't know. It just seems to me like, and I get what you're saying about, having a hard copy too. But
well, see that's the thing for keeping records, keeping your records and your books and that, keeping them on disc, but going paperless on like receipts and invoices and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that well actually, because you always get those people that they're like, well, I didn't get it, or they don't know how it works and stuff like that. But also when you go to your accountant, your accountant's going to want you to print them out, because he's not going to open up all the emails and all the files and that and go through.
Yeah, but I just download them. I just download them and email them to them. Or I just forward them to them. It's really for a guy like me who's trying to do everything myself. I think I would imagine you guys might go through the same thing. But even as a tech, and let's say I was a tech and not even put it as someone who's working for themselves, If I was a tech, I could download all my or I could save all my work hours, flag all my work hours if I was getting paid by the hour, or there's certain jobs I could save those bills into one email or save them into a file and then reference them if I go back and be like, oh yeah, there was this time I did a repair. Because I've always done that too. I used to save hard copies for certain when I pull up certain diags or certain repairs, there were certain things I would put notes down. Well, back when I would print out all data sheets, I would notate something like, don't follow this step, and do such and such, and this is how much voltage, because they didn't have because all that has never gave you, like, let's just be honest here, they've never gave you word for word how to do a repair exactly on every vehicle or, step for step. So, if, it'll say, like, remove this bracket, but what they don't tell you is that there's a 10 millimeter that's up underneath the intake somewhere. You know what I mean? Now I can take a picture of it, take a picture of something,
What's your
I like
thoughts?
that comment there, Shannon. Shannon's got a great point. And
That's how they steal people's freaking titles for their homes and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to bring up too is, even if you store on disk, how can you prove without a doubt if it's electronic? How can you
Right.
prove the date and time that the file wasn't modified?
I've often wondered that, and there's some sort of legality by it. If you make a signature on that electronic, they're calling it a digital fingerprint.
Yeah.
So
It's grabbing your IP address and all that stuff, trying to verify it in the whole 9 yards.
yeah,
And
there's
we
some
all gonna
risk.
have to be chipped.
Well, see, that's the thing is lot of those the reals, like the companies that are dealing in the big money stuff. When you do a digital signature, they actually ask you to log into your bank and on their server to verify your identity. And I don't like that, because all it takes is just one piece of malware on your computer, and then you log into a different server, and you've lost everything.
Temu.
It's
Temu for sure. That's 100% Temu.
but like that's the
100%.
thing. It's
Who is
not
this
only
guy,
that. Like I've actually had customers take and edit the receipts that I gave them and say, oh no, you're only charging me this. The receipt says this. Where with a printed paper one that has a signature by pen, there's no discrepancy or arguing. With the digital thing, it is so easy to edit, hack, and cheat.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always thought about that too, Turner. Somebody doing that, and I've never seen it done yet. I'm sure it has been done, but it's never been done around me yet. But that's another. I have worried about that, but then again, I'm an old guy too, so I think everything's a conspiracy anymore as far as stuff like that's new age. Yeah. I mean, for Christ's sake, I get trolls that are nothing but gamers on my channel. Every time I go to look and see who it is that's making the comment, it's some 13-year-old kid that's a troll. They're just saying stuff. It's crazy. They must just go around and talk crap on everybody's channel. But anyways, the digital age is among us, whether we like it or not. I mean, I think times are changing as far as that goes.
Yeah, that's why I filed my death certificate years ago. I'm not actually alive, but apparently a dead person can still get a driver's license. But a tax man can't collect money from the dead, but a dead man can still get a driver's license. It's kind of screwed up, but hey, it works.
Well, we know dead people can vote. I mean, we got proof of that in the White House now.
Yeah, that's true. Dead people can still vote. So.
That is hilarious.
But the tax man can't collect tax from a dead man.
Well, Obama tried that, the death tax.
Well, let me tell you this much.
Right off the top, anybody in probate, we get ours first.
The fact that 40% of America doesn't pay taxes, that ought to be enough for everybody to tell you that we've got a problem here.
I'm going to take you to court. Go ahead. We can't take this
problem.
person to court. They're deceased. Sorry, sir. You're talking to ghosts.
50% of the people have to work to keep this country going.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
Well, you really want to get deep into the whole financial system and how crooked it is and how political it all is too. Why are interest rates going through the roof on all your credit card debt for those who hold credit card debt?
Right?
You know why?
No, tell me.
They're trying to get the average middle class and lower class
To pay.
to default, claim bankruptcies, and do anything. Do everything like that because then they're expecting a housing market crash, which I think they're totally wrong. I don't think it's going to happen. They're expecting the same thing that happened in, like, say, 2008. And they did the same thing in 2008. But if the average Joe, the middle class, the blue-collar worker, if their credit shot to shit, when the housing market crash, if it does occur again, which I don't think it will, at least in most areas of the country, it won't, you won't be able to take advantage of those low-priced homes. Only the wealthy will be able to take advantage of it because the banks won't give you the loans because your credit sucks. Why does your credit suck? Because creditors all jack your rates way up, report you the second you're even close to the point they can report you to, which is exactly 30 days past due. And they just ruin you.
We're moving closer and closer toward the Hunger Games. Is that what you're saying?
I guess it's close to that. I mean,
Cocking Jay.
no, they did it in 2008. They're doing it again right now. I mean,
And they'll do it again.
interest rates on average are 23.99% on a credit card,
Wow.
as high as 32.99%.
32?
Even somebody with really good credit, offers they get in the mail are probably like 12 to 13% at best.
Yeah, that's what I've looked at. I should look and see because I don't ever pay attention to those, but I should open up one of those things and see what they're offering me for interest rate. But I guess I don't pay much attention to them.
I don't either. I don't, but every once in a while I open them up and
I know that Carlos.
I laugh at it.
I was thinking about buying what is that? Frosty? You showing your wiener again? Oh. You got his snowballs out. I know that I was thinking about buying a car or buying a different vehicle, buying another vehicle for just a gas. I wanted to buy something gas efficient, a newer one. And there was a deal that came by. 61
Falcon, 144?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was actually thinking about something along that very line. No, I was thinking about a Toyota, to be honest with you. And I was looking at interest rates and car rates, and they were like 6%. But I asked the bank, and they're like, "Nah, you wouldn't have to pay 6%. It would be you'd probably pay around 3 or 4%." And I was like, "That still seems a little bit off."
Fuck, man, if you took one of those old Falcon 6-bangers, put a 4-speed in it, and converted it to, multi-point fuel injection.
Oh, dude,
get great mileage.
Have you ever watched those Cuban car shows? Those guys take old cars like Bel Air and put 3-cylinder diesels in them. And I'm like, you know what? That's the way to go. Well,
Oh, I was going to tell Fluffy the other night on his stream. Nissan actually built a light-duty diesel that was super successful in the States, and they did it back in the late 60s.
OG Scuba Fishing, Steve-O's in the house.
I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It was called SD33, and it was a real popular transplant in the 70s. They used them in generators and boats, and then International Scout had them for like 12 years. The Scout diesel. And it was based on the L Series Datsun. Same.
Oh, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing those in internationals.
Yeah, that crank fits in an L Series Datsun, makes it a 3.2 or something.
They weren't super fuel efficient though.
They got pretty damn good mileage. It's just they're geared so low.
Yeah, and gutless, no power.
110 horsepower or something.
I like the thought of putting a I like the thought of putting in. Have you ever watched a guy named Tom's Refurb? He's got a Mustang, 60. Well, now it's a 65 fastback Mustang. He put the top on it, but he's just grafted in all the shit and made this thing. But he put a Honda motor. He's got a turbo Honda motor in a Mustang. You talk about setting some people off. He goes to car shows, and you ought to see how triggered these old guys get about that are Mustang fans. Holy, oh man, did they lose their mind?
Oh, you know, people would cry. You remember the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
I can tell you that every one of those hot rods, especially that one, was LS swapped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were no 440 Mopars, there were no Fords, there were no Chevrolets, there were no anything. They were all LS swapped.
Well, it's dirt cheap to do. I mean, it's the one thing you can't deny about that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know about that Charger with the blower on it. That might have been legit.
Oh, that was a fake blower. I seen a video on that one. They put a electric driven fake blower on the hood, and it was
Okay,
just
then
like
that thing was probably LS swapped.
You
I
know,
remember what they
that's the
did
thing
with
is
them.
If you're gonna total a car, why are you gonna put a $3,000 blower?
Well,
on
there's a
it?
guy that does all those.
They're all
There's a guy
CGI
that does.
totaled. All
There's a place
CGI
that builds
totaled.
all those cars. They're not. They're made. There's those prop cars are so shitty. I think I watched it on Jay Leno's Garage.
Yeah.
I think I watched. I think there might be a video on Jay Leno's Garage about that, where there's all those cars and how they get built, and they're just prop cars, and they're thrown together with basically duct tape and mud.
Yeah, the gray Charger in there with all the weird shit in the back, that was a tube chassis car.
Yeah.
That was built from
You'd
scratch.
be amazed what good quality duct tape holds together, though.
Well, my old set carpenter friend, he said they used to take the seats out and all the electronics out, and they sell it. Like the company that did these cars, they would make money off selling the parts.
Oh,
Then
the
they'd
Prop
make a
Master does.
fortune, make a fortune off of selling a shell to the movie company. Like double money.
Yeah, they like make fiberglass bodies, and they just basically, replace them every time they're doing shoots with them and stuff like that. Which
Well,
makes
look at
sense.
the General Lee. How many of them did they go through? Holy!
They actually
crap.
destroyed those, though.
Yeah, but
And most of
there's a
those-
movie.
most
I
of
can't
those were
remember what.
things-
There was a John Travolta movie, and if you look in the background of when he's drinking, he's having coffee out. If you look on the other side of the street, I can't remember which movie it was. I'm trying to remember, but every single car that was on the road was a General Lee with a cardboard cutout of another car stuck to it. There's like 30 General Lees, old wasted General Lees, just sitting there, and it was an Easter egg that the producer had put into it. But
Hilarious.
Yeah, oh man. I somewhere they have a record of how many of those things they wrecked. It was like 1,000 cars.
Very good. Dodge made a lot of money that year.
Well, those old police cars too. In the movies, they wrecked millions of those police cars. Those old Dodge or the Polaras and the
Satellites.
Satellites. Oh
Yeah.
man, Satellite with a 383 was a bad motherfucker.
Roadrunners.
Yeah. What? Roadrunner's just a Satellite
Yeah.
or a Belvedere. Same
But
car.
the Roadrunners have all the badges and the beep horn.
Well, they got the badges and everything deleted. A lot of people don't realize Roadrunners were lower option than taxi cabs. The Hemi Roadrunners had a strap to lift the window, and they didn't even have a window crank in them.
No, mine had a window crank. I owned a 73 with a 340.
Well, I'm talking about
That's
like the Hemi cars.
See, when they were making the Dukes of Hazzard, they were originally trying to make a deal with AMC, but when they discovered that the old AMCs were indestructible, they had to go to Dodge.
I don't know if they were indestructible. I sure would like to have a Rambler. What do they call that thing? Rebel?
Yeah, I want a Gremlin wagon. I don't know why. I want a Gremlin wagon. I do. I want one of the old AMC Gremlin wagons. I want to put a big block Ford Chevy, like a big block Ford in it. And
Nothing wrong with a 360 out of a a Jeep Cherokee, a Jeep Wagoneer, or a 401. They're still out there.
I got a smoking deal on a 24 or a 12 valve Cummins. I'm thinking about putting in the 65. He wants $1,800 for it.
Yeah.
200,000 miles more, or 200,000 miles on the engine. I'm like, dude,
It's still a baby.
huh?
Oh no,
It's still a baby. It's not even broken in yet.
You want to do that to your 65 though?
What's that?
Do you want to do that to that 65?
Well, I mean, it's not. It wasn't what I planned to, but I mean, think about it as I do kind of want a shop truck, and building that with a Cummins and putting good suspension underneath it, dude. That's a good truck to pull a trailer with, drive around. I mean, good gas mileage. You could take it places, and you could still make it run decent for
And it's
little or
a real
nothing.
easy swap on the Chevy too. We
Yeah.
just did one a couple months ago on
Oh,
one
that
of the old
65. There's so much room in there. You know,
so much room.
there ain't the
had
only thing that's hard to do to those things is put a blower on them.
If
So
we
you
had
got to go through the hood.
around here, we don't have any space. That's our problem. But we had a dead 2007 F350 at work, and it had a 10-cylinder in it. And the dealer claimed they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. It wouldn't start. It wouldn't fire. It was fucked up. I'm like, dude, the cam chain's fucked up. One of the cam chains slipped. And anyway, it was fucked up. But they junked it. They ended up junking it. And had I had a place to put it, I would have kept that fucker, because I could have put my F250 on that chassis and had modern suspension, modern brakes, and just put my body on it and had a dually.
I love it. I want to. That's the other thing is having a 24 valve round or 12 valve round, any dually. I would love to swap a old Ford or a Chevy too with a Cummins in it and have it for just the
One
tow.
project I want to do before I die is I want to take an old 70s El Camino, dually it, and put a Duramax in it.
There you go.
Before I croak, that's my dream project. I want to take and make a
I want
dually one.
I want to take a Pontiac Fiero, put a Cummins 10-cylinder in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
We got an old Duramax at work, an old crew cab dually with an aluminum flatbed on it. That thing's a weapon.
I
It's
still want a
amazing
car
how
that
good
has
that
an
thing
actually
runs.
working. I want to build a car that has an actually working flux capacitor.
Well, you can
Put
order
a garbage disposal in
on
it.
back order at O'Reilly's. The flux capacitor's still on back order at O'Reilly's, I think.
Yeah, I always used to call that up to the new kids.
Well, I already got the fruit saver for the future. Or I can throw banana peels and beer cans and all
Mr.
that shit.
Fusion?
Isn't that wonderful?
I want Mr. Fission.
Isn't it wonderful?
I don't know. These days, buying something new or fixing up something old, what do you do?
I fix up something old. It just, to me, it's a better option. You get a car that has a character, and there's so many new trucks, and they're so expensive. Why would you want anything new? The Flux.
Unfortunately, they're still sold out at O'Reilly's. Yeah, I had to check to see if they had any in stock. They're still out of stock.
By God. I mean, just that's the way I truly believe that if you were to start up, like I think there's going to be more of these that pop up, people that take and resto mod these cars and keep resto modding, because like there's a guy that's selling over here in Des Moines. I know he sells 2 or 3 resto mods a month. Cars that have been fixed up and repowered and suspension and all that stuff. I mean, and I don't know who's doing it or if he's buying them from somewhere in the auction, but it certainly seems like he's getting very good traction out of doing it.
Some of them don't even need to go that far. I mean, if you put modern electronics and fuel injection on some of them older cars, you'd be amazed at how good they'd do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just look at those guys from India. They're doing that all the time. They're taking new cars, old engines, and slapping them together and building wicked stuff.
What's up, Sergio?
What's up, Sergio?
Hey, Serge.
What's up, man?
I mean, it just makes sense to me. If you're gonna go, why spend $80,000 on a vehicle that's gonna look like everybody else? Or spend $60,000 on a vehicle, make it completely badass and unique to you.
Yeah.
I don't like following what everybody else is doing, I guess.
It's cheaper to build a car than it is to buy a new car.
Bingo.
And it's
That's the other thing.
recycling. You should get a tax rebate if you rebuild an old
Dude,
car.
it's cheaper to build a car than it is to register a new car in California.
We know it's stupid. It's that the taxes are no different than on my 66 than on my 2002 truck. How dumb is that?
Well, just the fact that your insurance company now can choose how much tax you pay on it based on the Blue Book value.
That's the other problem too. I will tell you with old trucks.
Like I bought the car for $100. I'm only paying tax on the money I spent. I'm not paying tax on money I did not spend. Screw you.
Dude, I will tell you that is the other problem, though, with doing old cars. That is a major problem. Is insurance companies will not insure you. I had a hell of a time getting insurance for my 66 and 65. You know why? They're like, well, how much is it worth? And blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we can't cover you for over like 5,000 miles a year. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, you have to go to specialty insurance. That's the only problem with doing this.
Well, even if you're a rebuilder or you buy cars to fix and flip, you turn around, go to the insurance. You got it registered in your name first, so that way you can do a legal resale of it. They want you to pay tax on the Blue Book value. Like,
maybe we're in the wrong
end of the $100. Like, I bought the car for $100. I'm not paying tax on $3,000. I'm only going to pay the tax on $100 I bought it for. Like, that's the thing. Like, up here in Canada, if I go buy a car for $100 and their Blue Book says it's worth $12,000, and I got to pay the tax on the $12,000, and I'm only planning on selling that car for $1,200 after I fix it, I now got to jack the price of that car up, which is only worth $1,200 after I fix it, to cover the loss of my taxes. Like it's ridiculous.
Besides a boatload of money, what do you need to do to start an insurance company?
Well, here's the thing is you know why the insurance companies, they know that one of those cars gets destroyed, and for you to do a repair on it and pay them out, it could be, well, let's just say the problem is they don't clump categories. Like, they're not going to go and say, you know, such and such. Let's say it's an F-100. Those are like a dime a dozen. They don't care how many F-100s are out there. They look at basically your truck is a one of one when they're doing insurance for you. And even though everything's repairable now. I mean, these guys basically build, everybody builds something now. They're building new frames for a car. Like, we're not in that. Like, you guys know, Dave, you probably understand too, but you know as well as I do, back 20 years ago, we didn't have the resources like we do now.
Oh, you could
like, if I need a part,
you could build a 68 Camaro from scratch now.
Exactly. That's what blows my mind about why this insurance. It's another freaking scam, because it's like, why do I have to be subject to only driving my early vintage car X amount of miles because you're saying it's not worth. Now I understand if it's a number 101, blah blah blah, you know, and it's like a really rare car, because obviously once that gets damaged, the integrity of what that car is done. But dude, you get that 60s trucks, they build everything for them. L&T sells every single panel from the box to the front end, you know. Like,
and
it's so
box
different than
tubing or their C channel, you could build a frame.
Right, exactly. And they were never that hard when they built them back then. Anyways, they just didn't have the technology to build them. Now they can build anything because there's people out there that are literally, you know, private people that are building stuff. So But the fact is, they're telling me that I can only drive my truck 5,000 miles a year because it's vintage, and and that's what my insurance is like. And I have to pay more money too on top of that because of classic car insurance. I mean, if you guys ever get into that shit, you'll understand. It's a racket. Yeah, racket. Sorry, I don't mean to talk about stuff that maybe everybody else doesn't. I love old car stuff. I mean, I truly, that's my passion. And if I can take my channel anywhere, it'll be basically resto modding old cars, like just repowering them. I'm not a body guy. Don't plan on being a body guy or ever anything like that. But I would love to put suspensions and new suspensions and everything, new suspensions and new drivetrains in every vehicle. That's more my forte. That's more my. I love saying a car. Like I just watched Sleeper Dude did a video on he got his wagon going. I mean, this thing was completely trashed. The doors wouldn't even open on it. He put a 5-liter with a carburetor on it, nothing special. Put a T5 transmission in it, nothing special, and did his own exhaust and got this thing back in the road. Put some interior. It's just cool to see these old cars breathing new life out of them. And not only that, how cool is it to see a Galaxy wagon going down the road? Like
seeing a Galaxy wagon nowadays.
Yes.
Jeez.
You rarely ever see that.
You don't see the wagons very often. You see a lot of the sedans, a lot of the coupes.
Dude, old cars, I will tell you this much. If everybody drove an old car, the world would be a better place. I'm telling you, old cars saves lives. If everybody had an old car to work on and drive, it put a smile. Dude, every time I hate that. My old truck, I'll tell you, it sucks. Like driving in, it's extremely hot in the summertime because it's all metal, and it's like I didn't get to drive it that much before the transmission went out of it. But I can tell you this much: cruising at night and going up to Sonic in the drive-through and whatnot, and just cruising around town, and all the people that give you smiles and thumbs up and like, oh man, that's a cool truck, blah, blah, blah. And the conversations and the people that you meet is literally the best part about owning an old car. Not a single person. Now I will say, you're not going to pick up chicks. There's a meme going around about, I bought an old car because I wanted to be cool and all I do is meet old guys at gas stations. Because they come up to you and they're like, I remember that car. I had one of those in high school. Which is still cool, though. I like talking to old guys. I've always been this knowledge, the wisdom that people give you that are older than you is something people will never, ever understand. That's just, I feel like there's less people that actually sit down and listen to the older generation. The guys the war stories I used to listen to from the guys that were in World War II, Vietnam War and stuff like that when I was younger. I could sit. I remember going to my buddy's house on Friday nights and having a few beers and sitting there and listening to his dad talk about Vietnam War and how they were sitting out there and they were so worn out walking through the jungle, and all of a sudden they heard the chopper, so the sound of a chopper coming, and then they seen this bag drop because they would drop food supplies into them, and he said they got over there and he said. They look in there, and he said there's this white stuff just oozing out of these containers, and they open it up, and there was ice cream, and it was just melted all to hell, and they didn't care because they were so happy to see it that they were just sitting there drinking it, and it was running down their chins and everything. Just stuff like that. I'll never forget that story. He said they were hiking for days through the jungle, and it was just hotter than hell,
Oh, that ain't shit compared to when I was in the Civil War.
Shut the fuck up, Dad.
The first horror we've
you
seen
guys
is
don't know
700
nothing
miles.
until you were in Greece when you were in Rome. Come on, the old Roman days were the best, Dave.
The Civil War, I remember that was nasty. I didn't like how long it took to reload your gun. That was bullshit. Technology is awesome.
You're so burned up.
That was actually one of my favorite things as a child.
If you had any money, you could have bought yourself a Spencer.
Yeah, led us to victory. Just
When
shouted,
as a child, my favorite thing.
fucking got on my horse with the flag held tall.
You're such a dick.
Went in there with my secret little pen.
Well, the thing I appreciate about listening to some of the older generation talk is because they let me know how much easier I have it. You know, people talk about.
I actually am hitting the age where I no longer appreciate it because I know soon I'm going to be one of those.
You already are.
I appreciate it right now.
Dave, you grew up with your rotary telephone. You grew up without internet. You already are that guy. I hate to break it to you, but
Rotary phone. Kid be like, what the fuck's a rotary phone? That's when we had to put our finger through it, spin it, let it go. Let it go.
I'll tell you what, working on equipment and broken equipment, I'm finding it right now. I got to do a lot of welding shit back together. And I can imagine having to gas weld shit.
yeah.
Well, at least Dave had a phone when he was a child. I had to write a letter and take it down to the guy that rode the pony from one town to the other town.
Well, I didn't have a phone until I was like 13. Before then, I used to have this boomerang thing. I used to swing in the wind, call in my people.
I hated my neighbor because he had a hawk and he'd always
I
get
learned
my
that shit
pigeons
from
when I wanted to
Crocodile
send a
Dundee.
letter to mom.
I did. I had carrier pigeons. That's
Yeah,
how
the
I had
Indians
to.
used to cut
That's
our
how I had to
telegraph
communicate.
wires.
No, seriously, Art, I don't know that there's another generation that's actually had to experience. I had a black and white TV. I'm only in my 40s. I had no air conditioning in my house. Listen to what kids but you talk about people that grew up through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, they had advancements and whatnot, but just think about this. If you were born in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, there's a chance that you could have had a rotary phone, no air conditioning in your house, cars with no air conditioning, no cell phones, none of that stuff, no internet, and no gaming. Well, I mean, Atari would have been. I had Atari, I guess. So the closest thing you would have had to a gaming system would have been that was first generations was in television or stuff like that. The Pong would have been out in the early 80s, late 70s. But those things now are considered, and you got kids that are we're talking about kids that are 20 years old now. They're only 20 years difference in us. And they're like, Jesus, that was way back then. When I was a kid, and 20 years wasn't way back then to me. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't way back then to me. When I was in 1999, I didn't say in 78 was way back to me. I didn't look at cars that were in 78 and be like, oh my God, those are so old. That's how kids look at shit now, though, because there's so much technology.
Chad,
driving places.
I grew up my life spending weekends at my grandma and grandpa's farm. And I ain't gonna lie, until I was probably about 12 years old, if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to go to the outhouse.
Yeah, there you go.
Middle of fucking winter. I had to go to the outhouse, man.
I remember living on the farm when we got our first TV. We used to just listen to the radio, and when I saw the faces of the people on the radio on the TV, it blew my mind.
Yeah, you know what? That wouldn't surprise me neither. I mean, in the 70s, there's a chance you could have not even had the TVs. There's no doubt about it. Like, we're talking now, kids literally look at the 90s. Oh, dude, back in the old days. They call it the old days. I didn't never call 20 years ago the old days when I was a kid. I never called that the old days. I'm like, 15, 20 years ago, those things were cool. I always used to say, that. Now these kids go around going, oh, way back in the old days. And I'm like, what is the old days to you? Oh, like 1999. I'm like, kid, you are out of your mind. The old days now would be, they'd be in the 70s, 80s.
Remember the last Mad Max where they have all the kids living in the crash plane and they're talking about the days long ago and that? whenever I hear a young kid talking about the old days, that's the first thing that I come to mind. A bunch of kids sitting in a crash airplane, waiting for their savior to come, going, "Oh, in the old days," and they hold up the stick, looking through the screen on the television, and
Mr. Wheeler.
Yeah.
yeah, waiting for Mr. Wheeler to come get
So
them.
Shannon, what about adding aluminum foil to the top of your antennas?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I still was doing that up until when they did analog, did switch over to analog digital. I still was doing that because transition, they were doing it, but we still had to use, you can still use antennas on TV. They had to, when they switched to digital, you have to use an antenna now to get it. It's not like the old days where you didn't always have to use an antenna. Now you have to use the antenna if you want to get like regular public access. Yeah, dude. You know what? Kids have never experienced growing up.
Well, thank you all for making me feel much older tonight.
Like you're that old, Dave.
That's the thing is,
No, but
we can,
now that you're bringing
the
up
same
all
goes
this old
for us.
shit, I'm thinking about it. Like, I remember being young kids watching Back to the Future and saying, "That'll never fucking happen."
And it still hasn't.
No, it
Hey.
still hasn't.
I'll go one up
we
on
see
you.
each other on a phone call. We can see each other on a phone call.
I'll
Yeah.
go one up on you guys.
We can
I
walk in and
remember
talk
when
to the TV, and the TV comes on.
I remember when beavers had hair on them.
Oh
And that was
my
all
God.
part of the game. It was part of the game. Finding the prize.
If you
Oh
find
my God.
you find one of those today, man, that's like you're
That's
dealing
a-
with fucking
that's a
old
Dude,
jewel.
OG Scuba. Pull up that comment, OG Scuba.
Better
Dude, that's
fucking
another
marry
thing.
that girl if you find one today.
Last generation, we actually had to leave the house and see where everyone was actually at to do shit. That is another one too. I can't even believe it. When I go over to my buddy's house, my kid's online with his friends playing video games, and I'm like, why the fuck are they? Why don't you go play with them at their house or something like that?
Go do something bad.
Yeah,
God.
dude, they
Be out
don't.
doing something bad.
What happened to
kids-
kids playing in the street, playing baseball at the freaking?
We didn't want to stay inside.
Tag
What
team and
Didn't
a pellet
want to,
gun,
like,
you know?
like, that was
What happened to
punishment. If
kids?
we weren't allowed to go outside, we went nuts.
Hey,
You know,
Shots,
listen,
pellet guns, baseball.
this is
kids
why I
are so
left. This is why I
kids
left
are so
the
scared of their own shadows anymore. Like I literally was talking to this. I was talking to this kid, and we were out at his dad's, him and mom and dad's place. Okay, and he's out there and he's riding his 4-wheeler, and I'm like, dude, hit that ditch and hit that jump. He goes, oh my God, no, I'd probably wreck it. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's not, dude. I get on it, and I'm a big dude, and I hit it, and I'm like, what's the problem? And he's like, oh my God, you're crazy. I'm like, dude, that's the kind of shit that we did back in the day. Like we weren't scared to get hurt on things, like, because we went out and experienced and we learned, you know. And I'm like, that's why these kids are scared to drive.
We were dumb jackasses that used to see how high we could get the swing going, and then jump off the son of a bitch.
Flip
Exactly.
over upside down, scrape all the skin off your forehead.
Yeah, they won't even do that now.
That's how it's very hard for me to take a young kid that's going to try to be hard on me, like talk shit to me. Some fucking 20-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid tries to talk shit to me. I mean, like when we were kids, we went out, we played hockey in the streets, we played baseball, we were outside all the time.
Right.
And you know, we'd have altercations, right?
Right.
We get in little beefs, little fights, and all that shit. And a lot of times, mommy and daddies got involved, and a lot of times it was just handled there on the court.
Right.
Today, these kids don't never fucking with each other.
Well, you know what they say to you? If you start getting out, they always say,
guns and
well,
walk
no,
down the
I'm
street.
glad you don't know how to talk like an adult, or like you can't be an adult. I'm like, listen,
I'll tell a
beat
20-year-old
your
kid,
ass.
I don't give a shit if you're 6'7". I'll bust you down to my size and I'll kick your ass.
yeah, we didn't waste time arguing with people over stupid shit back then. You just knocked somebody out, and then the point got across.
Then you
Shut
move
up,
on.
stupid. Boom, you're done.
Then you move on.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Like you go up, I go up to the playground up here. They're talking about building more playgrounds. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna build a living room with a TV
Yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe-
Wi-Fi, just a big
Maybe they're
fucking
building
Wi-Fi
them.
antenna.
Maybe they're building them. Maybe they're building them for our politicians to go play in.
Well, dude, I have a
When
park
you get-
right
when you
up
get
from my
dementia-
house.
When you get dementia, they say you revert back to like your childhood life. So
Kick
maybe
the
one of these
can.
days, one of these new playgrounds, we'll see Joe Biden and Donald Trump swinging next to each other.
Yep. I have a playground right up the street from me, and I drive by it every single day. And you know how many people I see out there every single day?
Scary now that you
Maybe
drive
one
by
or
every
two.
day. You got Jolly Ranchers with you?
Only in one pocket.
Listen, dick bag. I'm just saying, it's sad.
Yeah, there's nobody at them. They're taking playgrounds out.
Yeah, we spent $300,000 building a playground that nobody goes to.
Right.
Yeah, the fucking.
Well, I don't
It
know.
goes
merry-go-round.
with the local neighbor that wants to take their dog for a walk, and they don't want their dog to shit in their yard. Say walk into a nice playground and let the dog shit there.
And then your kid goes there, and if he does go to the park, he steps in it and then never wants to go to the park again.
We should make a law where all children must spend 4 hours a day at a playground.
Yeah, those
Oh,
rusty
dude,
old jungle gyms. Remember those? And the rockets you used to climb up. All those shit you could climb on and fall off of.
My buddy's kid doesn't get to get on. He's pretty awesome, dad. Him and his mom are pretty sweet. They literally, the kids can't. As long as lights out, they can't be on any devices. As long as there's lights out, they can play outside. They can't be on any devices.
We got a special guest that's just arrived. The one and only Scuba.
What's up, fellas?
Steve-O.
What's going on, everybody?
What's
What's
going
happening?
on, Scuba?
Long time no see and hear, huh?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Well, Sergio put up a comment. He sees kids at the playground all the time. Granted, it depends on the time of day. Well, you live in California, so you're probably dealing with like 6 to 8 year olds, and they're probably already trying to hook up and like get married. California is a different country, man.
Yeah.
He said there were 20-some-year-olds that were out playing on the playground.
No, he says he sees kids there all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
I said they're probably like 6 to 8, and they're probably trying to hook up and get laid.
I don't even see kids riding bicycles down my street.
No, you can fall off a bike and get hurt.
I was just gonna say, man, when we were kids, forget it. We would leave the house at 8 o'clock in the morning, get on our bikes and go 30 miles away and come back and wouldn't be back until the night.
Exactly. Dude, I was trying to hook up with the Drake University track team when I was a kid. My dad always wondered where I was at, dude. I was up there hitting on those girls. Dude, here I was, 10 years old, macking on them. They get pizza from Pizza Hut given to them. I had the whole scam set up. Like I would literally roll up there, and I knew they were getting pizza. Me and my buddy Jake used to go there all the time. The track team was at practice. We roll up there, sweet talk them, get a couple slices of pizza. Like we had a whole deal we went around and did.
Yeah,
What
we
about
would
a
literally,
snowstorm? We used to go out there and stay out there until we turned purple, man.
you don't ever hear about a bonfire party anymore. You don't hear none of that.
Oh, dude, we did those every weekend.
We would have giant bonfire parties in the middle of the fucking woods and nowhere, have 40-foot bonfires.
Even in the middle of winter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it would just be hanging out, drinking, doing whatever. Even
Cops are bored now.
Yep.
They got nothing to do.
I
They don't
remember
even-
we would get on our bikes and we'd ride. Me and like 2 or 3 of my friends, we would ride to go at the beginning of the school year. We'd go sneaker shop and we'd get on our bikes and ride probably at least 25 miles to the outlets to grab sneakers and ride home.
You know, my brother owns a bar, right? And you know what's sad is they closed the bar at like midnight now because nobody even tries to stay out past midnight anymore. And that's what's really crazy to me.
Well,
Like nobody, when I was in my 20s, I was out till 2-3 in the morning all the time.
Yep.
Well,
That or
Brad,
you-
when I was a kid,
Go ahead,
when I was
sir.
a kid, they used to wait. Our parents would pray for us to get kidnapped. That'd be one less mouth to feed. Right, hopefully, at least one of them doesn't come home. We can't afford them anymore.
My dad would get mad at me. I knew that I could get away with being gone up until like 8:30.
Yeah.
Once dinner was there, if I wasn't in the house when dinner was up, he would actually realize that I was missing then, and he'd be like, "Where's Ted at?" Then I get my ass beat.
That's the other thing that's missing too now is ass whoopings.
Ass whoopings.
Kids don't get hit no more. You can't. They. I don't.
Affirmative action if they get spanked.
But it causes trauma. Look, I
don't
got
give a
my
shit.
butt whooped
Listen.
and I have no trauma.
Listen, I got three kids in my house. They get ass whoopings if they do some shit. Talk back to their mother, throw something. They get an ass whooping. I don't give a shit. I don't beat them for no reason. But if they get out of line, they're gonna get a spanking. I don't care.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me about that because my 19-year-old had words with me outside tonight, so I gotta go see if she's woke up
She's
yet.
19 though. She's an adult.
I still knocked her ass the fuck out. I gotta go check her. I'm joking.
What are you doing, Ava?
That's weird. He said I knocked her out.
Yeah, she's at the age where she could fuck you up, Dave.
Yeah, no kidding. She could learn. She could learn some karate or something. She could like jujitsu you.
I already taught her too much for what she weighs. She can hit hard.
I beat my old man when he was 17. When I was 17, so I know you got to watch it because you don't want to get too carried away. Especially if you get your kid into sports and you start getting them all built up and stuff like that. I think that was my dad's worst fear. He's like, this mother trucker is going to get bigger than me someday, and that's going to be a bad deal.
Yeah.
And I did.
My dad just turned 79, and I'm still afraid of that motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Especially when he's on the brown liquor.
What are you doing, babe? This is my sidekick.
All right.
What up?
Hello.
She decided tonight she wants to stay up late.
All right.
Hey, look at that. How's the shop stuff going, Scuba? Busy?
I'm busy, man. I'm busy. You know, but you know, the busier you are, the more money it costs, right?
There was Steve from Tool Demos was just asking. He hadn't seen you around for a while, so he didn't know.
I'm unloading a couple of ratchets because I got like 50 of them now.
Yeah, I seen that post that you put up.
And he grabbed one of the 100-year anniversary ones, and I sent it out to him. I just been super busy, man.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I figured that's what it was. I hadn't talked to you either, so I was like, yeah, maybe he's just busy, and I get it.
I'm trying to get away from like the heavy line shit, man. I'm getting tired of engines and transmissions.
Dude,
you and me both.
Especially by myself, you know, it's a pain in the ass. So it's like,
they're becoming more and more of an issue with people because the juice isn't worth the squeeze. They take up time and they take up base space, and you can. And the problem is opportunity passes you by getting. You can get 5 or 6 other decent jobs in.
It's starting to become a time versus time issue. It's like, do I want to spend 2 days on this truck to make $3,000, $2,000, whatever after overhead and costs, or I can do 8 brake jobs in that time and make the same profit.
Yeah.
And you actually make more profit, probably.
Yeah, exactly. It's like now, and then I'm starting to secure a couple of fleet accounts that they want to do mass. One is like a 14 truck account. The other one has a lot. The other one's like a news channel
where you take care of all the maintenance on them, and they just want to.
Yeah, but they want to do like quarterly mass, vehicle services to the vehicles. So it'd be like every 3 months.
New full maintenance.
Yeah, the whole fleet. They want to do the whole fleet in a matter of like 2 weeks, and it's like, so I got to readjust for that if that does go through. And it's like, why am I going to waste my time taking in these heavy line jobs when I don't have to?
I think the opportunity is so great for so many people that's a mechanic right now. If you're a decent mechanic, like I say, I'm not the best mechanic, but the opportunities are so great for people right now. Exactly what you're saying is that there's not enough people in the industry, and that's you get to pick and choose, cherry pick what you want to do now. And you know what? Why not? Because you know what? You put in enough time, you put enough energy in it. Why not do what you want to do and not kill yourself?
Let's go sit on the couch. Come on.
I'm all for it.
You want me to pick you up? Hold on. Oh, come on. And then then I got to work Sundays, and the 14 and 16-hour days are really starting to kick the shit out of me.
Well, owning a business is always fun that way.
Yeah.
Not
That's
gonna lie.
And that's the part everyone doesn't they don't see that. They just think, oh yeah, you're your own boss, it's all good. Yeah. It's all good when you got to spend $5,000 every single season on
Tax preparation. Everybody, I think every business owner right now is feeling the taxes. That's the thing right now. Taxes are terrible.
Oh, it sucks. They changed a lot of shit too this year.
I've been doing my taxes. Nothing drastic, but still it sucks. I hate it. It's just something that I don't want to do. It's not fun. You got to dig up receipts and pull up stuff and, fight with the tax accountant. Like, why can't I get my money back on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's that it's the price of everything is way through the roof. So it's
People complain all the time.
I had a guy call me yesterday. It was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. He's like, "Oh, hey, Steve. You worked on my Buick." I was like, "Yeah, I remember. You did the water pump and something else." I said, "Yeah, but he's got a head gasket starting to go bad on it, intake leak." Oh, well, it's at I took it to another shop for something else, and they said that it's leaking from the water pump. And I'm like, okay, you got to bring it to me so I can look at it.
Right.
If something I had a hand in, I'll fix it.
Dude, disloyalty and